I'm sure you know, or you've heard the name Nick Fuentes, right? He is an American Nazi. He is also listed by Wikipedia as a political commentator and live streamer. But the thing about Fuentes that most people understand, he is known for his white supremacist ideas, his misogynistic attitude, homophobia, anti-Semitism, anti-Islamic views. He's a former YouTuber. His channel was permanently terminated about 4 years ago because he kept violating YouTube's hate speech policy. And Nick Fuentes has promoted conspiracy theories against the Jews. He's denied the Holocaust. He advocates the genocide of Jews globally. He identifies as a member of the incel movement. That's the involuntary celibate, is where they get the name movement. All these white men who can't get laid, so they call themselves incel. He is also a supporter of Nazism and Donald Trump. He is a Catholic and Christian fascist. Now, there's a little thumb sketch on Nick Fuentes. He collaborates, by the way, one of his big collaborators is a guy named Patrick Casey, who's a former leader of the Nazi organization Identity Europa. And Nick Fuentes' followers are known as Groypers. Don't ask me why. Groypers. Groypers. And Fuentes' organization members began to heckle another Nazi organization members, Turning Point. Turning Point is the one that aims at college students. And Turning Point had a culture war tour, including a speaking event for Donald Trump Jr. And in 2020, trying to establish a white supremacist conference to rival CPAC, as if one is needed, Fuentes began holding the annual America First Political Action Conference. Now, America First that Fuente uses, of course, is nothing new. That was what was used in this country in the 30s, in the lead up to World War II. And very prominent Americans were advocates for and members of the America First movement. It was purely a Hitler-sympathizing Nazi movement in this country. Anyway, Fuentes was at that white supremacist rally in Charlottesville in 2017, and he was also an attendee and a speaker at events that immediately preceded the attack on the U.S. Capitol. This guy is a rotten son of a bitch. Too bad his helicopter doesn't go down, right? He has also, in an attempt to humanize his Nazi organization, he encourages the members to use jokes among the white nationalist groups because, he said, quote, "It is so important for giving a lot of cover and plausible deniability to our views," end quote. So in other words, pretend like you're telling jokes when you're really advocating death and destruction. Now, in November 2022, if you'll remember this little shitty event, Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, a crazy black Nazi, met with the Orange Bastard for a private dinner. I think that was at Mar-a-Lago, right? The meeting got significant comment from political figures because the debate surrounding the dinner was called, quote, "the most discomfiting moment in U.S. history in a half century or more for American Jews." Okay? Now, Kanye West is almost as well known an anti-Semitic asshole as Nick Fuentes. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up, Nick Fuentes, who Elon Musk, by the way, recently allowed to return to X, over the past few days, he was streaming LGBT pornography on his personal account. And, if that gets Nick Fuentes some kind of sexual excitation, that's nobody's business but his own. But it was on his personal account, which is open, I guess, to a number of people, and somebody made it public that Nick Fuentes was getting off on gay porn. And, which I have no issue with at all. Somebody wants to watch gay porn or not gay porn or it's nobody's business but the people involved, as long as nobody's hurt, right? I mean, what the hell? Well, word got out, and some of what Nick Fuentes was streaming got out, and Nick Fuentes is now saying that Israel did it, that an Israeli Telegram channel hacked his little channel and let the world know that Nick Fuentes gets off on looking at gay porn. In response to footage of the incident that was posted on X, Nick Fuentes wrote this, quote, "This is getting desperate. My proprietary live streaming site was hacked after my stream went offline by someone claiming to be IDF Unit 8200. Now, the IDF Unit 8200 is an Israeli intelligence unit that does engage in cyber warfare. However, the unit has not taken any responsibility for the broadcasting of the pornography that was on St. Nick's stream. But it's always convenient, this has always been the case, to blame the Jew. There's a Jew around here, blame him, blame her. I didn't do it. Whatever it happens to be in the moment. Blame the Jew. That's always, the easiest way out. Now, it currently, I think, over this past weekend, that's what it was, Fuentes was hosting another neo-Nazi conference in Orlando during the CPAC circle jerk there. Fuentes acknowledged that the hack was likely not by the Israeli Defense Force, but was connected to a Telegram account that is operated by Unit 8200 called Israel Chai. And that particular stream, Nick Fuentes' stream, exposing what Nick Fuentes likes to look in the privacy of his own mind, I guess, whether it was an accident or a hack is under discussion on social media right now. Okay, now I'm going to enter into this is Monday, what the hell? I mean, I can't, how many times am I to talk about the slaughter going on in Gaza by this son of a bitch Netanyahu? How many times can I talk about the trial of this orange bastard going on in New York? I mean, Jesus. So I thought today, Monday, we would lighten up and do some easy topics. I'm just kidding. Death and destruction in the mountains of Iran. Okay, I'm being a sarcastic son of a bitch. Anything about Nick Fuentes? Anyway, enter now George Santos. Remember him, the New York congressman, who was the center of his own controversy after it was discovered that he had bullshitted everybody that voted for him about he was Jewish, about his professional background. Anyway, this is what George Santos posted on X. Quote, Nick Fuentes streamed gay porn last night on his show. Now the gapers are claiming it was a Mossad hack. For the love of God. Hey, gapers, just accept your daddy Fuentes is a homo. End quote. Oh, my God. Yeah. After Fuentes fans then began harassing Santos on the X social media platform, Santos posted this, quote, I'm supposed to shut up and accept that the face of the far right in America is an evil gay Mexican twink? Give me a break, end quote. Oh, my God. At a July rally in 2023 for America First. That's an organization that he founded, although, like I said, it has its roots back in the 30s. But at that rally, Fuentes called for a holy war against, guess who? The Jews. He said this, quote, "We are in a holy war, and I will tell you this. Because we're willing to die in the holy war, we will make them die in the holy war, and they will go down. We have God on our side. They will go down with their satanic master. They have no future in America. The enemies of Christ have no future in this world." End quote. Okay, what's the point of all this? This Christian sickness, this twisted, degenerate Christian sickness that spews out of the mouth of scum like Nick Fuentes, among others, the anti-Semitism, the anti-Islam, the anti-everything. I mean, can you imagine, and please try, dear listener, can you imagine how clean and clear the air would be and human relationships would be if this religious horseshit would just go away? I am as serious as I've ever been. You know this is one of the central themes of this podcast. Is it the most destructive, horrific, death-dealing, murderous aspect of human beings throughout our entire history has been religious bullshit?
Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.